What's up everyone, welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Before we begin, make sure to hit the like and subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon. We're posting 4 videos every day, so make sure to check back every single day. We're aiming for 20k subscribers and get a deal in the description if you haven't already. This is not financial advice. Welcome to Crypto Maximalist. Let's begin. What's up guys, so just before we begin, make sure to hit the subscribe and bell icon. People aren't seeing our content and that's probably because you haven't hit the bell. Thank you again for all your support. We're so proud of the amazing community that we've built. So we're just taking a quick look at Vechain here, and as we can see, it does look as though it's breaking out of the little range that it has been forming basically over the past few weeks. Obviously Vechain, it looks as though it has been cooling off for a good while. We've obviously got this range and then obviously the wider range that we have been trading in looking something like this. And you can see what's interesting is we've actually broken out of the little range that we've been in, and we're actually getting stuck under the resistance of the wider range, which we did say was our next price target if we did see Vechain starting to break out, which is getting perfectly hit right now around 15.1 cents there, looking really strong. And it's pretty, I mean, you can see what's happened to Vechain, can't you, pretty clearly. We've got this big downtrend, obviously the huge descending wedge. We got caught in a bit of a range here, rolling over and rolling over. We tested the bottom quite a lot here, 3 times basically. And you can see there's a little bit of a fake out to the downside here, coinciding nicely with touching the bottom of the wider macro channel that we have been trading upwards inside of the whole of the bull run. And you can see obviously we've got this nice little pump off the bottom, with Bitcoin obviously getting that big reversal off the bottom as well, that huge short squeeze which sent the market back to the upside. And now it looks as though Vechain is just slowly making its way up the level, starting to recover. So you can see obviously we broke out the 20 here, consolidated under the 55, just like a lot of cryptocurrencies. We come all the way up to around, what is this, 14.5 cents. We had a bit of a rejection, obviously consolidation, come down. We test the 20 a bunch of times here as support. We found it as really strong support. And then as we said, if we did start to come back to the top of this little range and break out, our next price target would be around that 15 to 15.5 cent level. And it looks as though we have hit that pretty much perfectly here. And now it seems as though we are getting a bit rejected and essentially caught between these 2 levels here, which is quite interesting. So it remains to be seen what's going to be happening for Vechain over the next few days. But it does look as though, Vechain's starting to break out of this little channel here, and it's trying to test that larger channel as resistance as well. I mean, for example, if we did start to break out of this and retest it as support, that would be super bullish. And you'd probably expect Vechain at that point to maybe consolidate above that resistance for a few days. And then essentially go after some of these higher price targets, coming in at around 17.5, 18 cents, maybe upwards of 19, maybe even 20 cents over the next week or so if we did start to break out of that level, because obviously we've seen a lot of cryptocurrencies breaking out of the range that they formed since May. Obviously, Bitcoin and Ethereum, Cardano's at all-time highs. There's quite a lot of cryptos that are showing a lot of strength. And Vechain does look as though it is lagging behind a little bit, just like a lot of altcoins behind ETH. But it does seem likely, considering how strong the price action and the momentum to the upside has been recently, that we're probably looking at some decent price targets fairly soon. So you can see, obviously, Vechain, it's held the 20 like an absolute beast all the way up here, hasn't it, really? And we probably expect this to continue going into the next few weeks, and which is obviously going to force you to head up and test these resistances which we have been testing. So now that we've established kind of what's going on, we can look at some short-term price predictions. And as you can see, as we'd expect, and as we've been saying for a few weeks now, because we're in such a nice uptrend with the EMAs flipped into support, you can see the 20 moving average has been acting as really nice support here, and we would expect this to continue to hold as a decent support. So if Vechain does start to roll over here, we could be looking at rolling over to around 13.5, 14 cents and getting a bounce off of the 20 moving average again, which forces us to basically break out of this resistance here. If we are looking really bullish, this would probably be the case. And then obviously if we did break out to the downside of the 20 and come back down and test these lows again, coinciding nicely with the 55, you would expect a decent bounce at the bottom of this range, coming in at around that 12.5 cent level. So those would be our short-term price predictions to the downside. And then as we said, if we do start to break to the upside of this this range high at 15.2 cents for the wider range, we could be looking at potentially breaking out here, getting stuck under a resistance at around 16.5, 17 cents. And then hopefully we can back test this previous resistance into support, which would be really strong. And then you can see yourself consolidating and then starting to move up the level. So those would be our short-term price predictions for Vechain. Now that we've seen our price prediction for yesterday being fulfilled, and we would say realistically, if we're looking at the bull run ending November, December, January time in the next few months, we can see if we take a look at the top of our channel we've been trading in for, ever since the start of the bull run here, you can see we're realistically looking at, potentially $1.50, $2 for Vechain. So we would say realistically 50 cents to $1 is more likely and more, there's much more chance of that happening. We'd probably say it's quite likely that this would probably happen in the next few months. And then if we do get a nice overextension, we could be looking for that $1 level. So that's it, guys. We'd like to thank everyone so much for their support. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please leave them down below, and don't forget to subscribe and then hit the real subscribe button, which is the bell icon, to stay up to date with the 4 videos that we post every single day. Remember, if you want to support the channel more directly and get a ton of benefits and insight, as well as joining our growing community, consider the Patreon or YouTube membership down below. You can also sign up to our free Telegram via the description as well. All the links are in the description for affiliate links for discounts and free crypto, so go check them all out below. There's plenty of goodness on offer. Please like and subscribe. We are Crypto Maximalists.